Hi everyone, I promised a video about frugal crafting, and this time I'm going to do it on stencils. When I started with art journals and mixed media like 2.5 years ago, I didn't have stencils. There aren't a lot to find here, and the ones that there are whatever are very expensive. So I've started from nothing and I made my own stencils, and through time I accumulated I bought stencils from wherever I could find, but I want to show you how you can do it without mortgaging the house. So the very low cost the to make stencil and is taking a paper, even a printer paper. It's even better if you have a magazine paper because it's a little bit glossy and it's thicker. And you probably have done it for Christmas when you were kids. You fold a paper and you start cutting shapes out of it, and then you make yourself a stencil. Now it looks flimsy and you need to straighten it. It's better after you cut it to put it inside or under a heavy book, but you can use it. My first stencil that I made was this, and it's from a magazine page, and I've used it quite a lot from the first time I've made it. So you can do something with paper and work with it. About using printer paper or magazine paper and making this kind of a stencil, there are probably hundreds of videos out there in YouTube, but basically you just take the paper, fold it several times. You can do something like this. I'm trying to, it's easier to just draw some shapes so you can follow with your scissors, something like that. And then to cut it like this. Easiest stencil ever and very cheap. Even if it doesn't survive first time using it, then you can always do another one, and each time you will have something unique that you made and it's all yours. Okay, so this is the very cheapest stencil there is. The next thing I've done when I needed the stencils, I bought, I don't know the name for it in English. It's plastic sheets, I think maybe dividers that you put to divide subjects, and it's very thin plastic, and it's a little you can see through it, and it's really easy to cut shapes into it. Now if you want to do straight shapes, I will show you 2 examples that I have made. My first stencils. This one of triangles. Of course you need a lot of patience to do something like that, and I haven't planned it. I didn't draw it or something. I just started cutting into the plastic with a metal ruler and I don't know, I heard it's called utility knife or a box cutter, I think. Either this or a X-Acto knife, and you just start cutting. I would recommend, it will be easier if you planned what you want to do on a paper. Like if I wanted some kind of a stencil with a pattern of squares. It doesn't matter. Plan it, put it under your divider and use it as a guide to start cutting. If you don't want it to move, take masking tape, align the two pieces and just let it put it in place. If you are not up to this kind of cutting, there is another easy way to cut shapes into this kind of thing, but then I would draw with a permanent marker on my plastic sheet, and the best way is to make some kind of incision in the middle like this, and use, I think this is for nails, these scissors or eyebrows, I don't know, and use this to come in and cut your shape. These scissors are recommended to make it's better for shapes that are not straight, but you can work with it also with this kind of thing. The other stencil that I made from plastic sheet is this one, and also in the same technique I just drew some kind of circles. I made an incision in the middle and went in with these scissors. I think the beauty of this thing that you are making your own stencil, it will be unique, nobody has it, and it's just a matter of your imagination and your patience of cutting these shapes. Here we go. So this is the kind of thing that you, the easiest way to make your own stencil unique to you, that nobody has the same. Another idea, you can go on the internet and look for free printables of patterns. You can print it, put it again under your plastic sheet and trace it and start cutting it. This is the easiest and cheapest way for durable stencils. Now for another tips about stencils, it goes like this. I don't know how it is with your dollar stores, but even in my dollar store, the equivalent here for a dollar store, there are several things that you can do to buy cheap stencils. First of all, always look first at the kids craft section. The things that are made for kids are cheaper. This one is from the kids section. It was like 50 cents, and it's a great stencil. It also has some kind of adhesive underneath, so it also doesn't move when I'm using it. So kids, another thing, I found that I can buy stencil also in some hardware stores. It's supposed to be for making borders on walls. This one is from a hardware store, and it cost me something like $1. And here is another one. I haven't used it yet, and it was on sale in a hardware store. So hardware store is another option. Another thing, it's better to buy in what you are calling a craft store. If you are going to art supply store, everything is just multiplies in the price range. Most of my stencils these days are, I ordered them from China. It takes like a month to come, but it's the cheapest way I can have stencils. Another tip, even ordering from China or in your dollar stores, go to the baking aisle. I have got lots of stencils that are supposed to be for baking, for decorating cakes, and they are cheapest. Sometimes I can find the same stencils if you are buying them for a cake. It's the same stencil, but if you are buying them for a cake, it's cheaper. Don't know why, don't care. This one was supposed to be for a cake. Also these ones, the water lily and this one are supposed to be for cakes. These are from some kind of a thick paper, and they are from the kids section. So they came in like 10 in a pack, and it was a long time ago I bought them. I don't even remember how much they were, and they are very cheap. And what else? Here you can see for yourself. This is for cake, and look how pretty these stencils are. So maybe I won't use the happy birthday a lot, but I still got 3 stencils with a fairly large that I can use, and I've used them. I think they are great. Here it is. I hope you can see the pattern. So it was cheaper because it's for a cake. And these are are supposed to be to decorating t-shirts with sprays for textiles, and they were very cheap. Again, find alternatives. So the only other thing that I want to show you, and I don't think I've brought it to the table, I will bring it now. When I started, it was with I stumbled on videos for jelly plate printing, and again I didn't have stencils, so I had to think, what do I do to make impressions on the jelly plate? And I have seen videos, and most of them use several things to make impressions on the jelly plate, and most of them are from either silicone or some kind of foam. So what I did is I took a craft foam or fun foam, as you call it, and started cutting shapes and gluing them to this I think it's foam board, so I could put it on the jelly plate and it will basically remove paint and make a pattern. And basically I just worked backwards from a stencil because I didn't have any. But what I did find out that first it works great on a jelly plate, so here is another tip. The second thing is that it also a great stamp, because I can ink it or put acrylic on it and stamp it on whatever I want. So I made several plates like this. Of course these are big because I wanted them to fit my jelly plate, but you can also make things like this on a smaller scale. Here are these ones were already bought the shapes from craft foam, and I just glued them to this foam board. So this is it in the stencils department. I'm going to make another video about stamps, and because I didn't even have stamps when I started, and I'm going to stop the video, finish the stencil that I started cutting, so, and I'll come back so you can see the new stencils I made. Hi, I'm back. Here is my finished stencil. Of course I can add more shapes and do more design for the stencil, and I want to show you how it works like any other bought stencil. So that's my notebook for leftover paint, and I'm going to use it here. Here we go. Here, so it works like any other stencil, and I can go again with the pattern on this page. I'm gonna do it quick. Here we go. So you see, you can do a lot of stuff with this kind of thing. Here's another one. Let's see another one. When you're finished, of course, you can wash it or leave it be. This paint, I just bought these ones, and yeah, I don't like them very much, but I'm gonna use them until they are finished, but I'm not gonna buy them anymore. here we go. So you can see you don't need the expensive stuff, and this kind of plastic dividers are very cheap. And if I forgot to mention it, if you buy it in of course in an office supply store, it's even cheaper. I found them in my dollar store, and it was like 50 cents for this package. There are 12 sheets of dividers here, so it's great for making stencils. That's it for now. Bye.